The most notorious creature, not at all studious. Professor's tired, my friend's tired.
No one can see you. What would you do?
I don't know that. Never thought of that. If you are educated, only then you can think of next 10 years or next 20 years. If you are not educated, that concept doesn't come up only. And that thought also cannot come. They gave me some questions. At that time, I bluntly told them, look here, I've challenged your company. Don't ask me those foolish questions which are just floating on top. Go to the depth.
Attack is the best defense.
In those days, there was nothing called ragging. Thumb rule that every senior has to rag you, so every junior has to just accept it willingly. So we are all prepared now. Ragging is going to happen. We have to suffer for one whole year, maybe a year, maybe more, depends. And all the seniors there are selecting all these juniors whom they are going to rag.
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू आईआईटी पॉडकास्ट। आज मेरे साथ है सुनील पंचाल जी। सुनील पंचाल जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका आईआईटी पॉडकास्ट में।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
और सुनील जी की बहुत सी बातें जो मुझे अच्छी लगती है, बट एक जो स्पेशल लाइन है वो है अटैक इज द बेस्ट डिफेंस।
And that's the fact. Well, actually, if you look at it, that's the right way.
That's the right way, बिल्कुल। तो आज हम बात करेंगे आईआईटी की। तो पंचाल जी, आप आईआईटी में किस टाइप के स्टूडेंट थे?
Not at all studious, let me tell you. The most notorious creature. Professor's tired. My friend's tired. But not a bad memory. Not a bad memory at all. A good one.
और अगर बात करें आपके चाइल्डहुड की, आपका चाइल्डहुड कैसा रहा था?
One of the weakest student actually.
हाँ,
in childhood. Totally a weak student till SSA.
अच्छा।
Not doing good at all. Maybe I was depressed, but I know one thing, I was always the last or the second last.
अच्छा।
Never good. Like passing in SSC was a problem. The principal said the only student who is going to fail. And that's the fact. But after that, went to the college. Bagubhai Mafatlal. That too had to give an exam. And technically, all the questions there were asked in an engineering college, right? And that's where I scored wonderful, beyond imagination. And that's where the college gave me admission. He sound technically but weak in languages, etc. And so I got admission. A notorious kid as usual, tired, but I had one concept which was very very important, and that is study at nights, sleep in the daytime, or sleep in the college.
मोस्टली यही करते हैं।
But I always did see that is whatever the professor is going to teach, I studied that last night. And then I would have questions. I would not understand everything. I'm not a master there. So I would attend to only those sections which are very very important for me because I have not understood it. And so that released lot of my stress during the exam time.
Got it.
Because you can recollect that, all your problems, and you know that, you have mastered that. And so I was very comfortable doing engineering.
So why were you notorious as a kid?
God knows, maybe it comes from the genes. Well, but I was a notorious kid. Well, we were all in a joint family.
Yeah. How many siblings?
One more brother and two sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a joint family, actually. A joint family, 22 kids.
22 kids.
22 kids.
One brother and two real sisters, but overall 22.
Overall 22 having one lunch together, all sleeping in one room.
Sleeping in one room?
Yep, all. Yeah, it was a joint family, so everybody together, and it was fun, but that also gave an opportunity of being a notorious creature.
So in those 22, were all notorious, or
No,
you
no,
and
no, no,
few
no,
were
no, no, no.
notorious?
Only I think so. I was the most notorious creature there. I always liked to finger everybody, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But looks like the same character has passed on to my grandkid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Vivek, huh?
Yeah, Vivek is having that same notorious style. I'm looking at him and observing, oh, this is what I was once upon a time.
Is it joyful to watch it, or?
I am enjoying it, but my son-in-law is not enjoying it at all. But that's okay. It's a part of life.
Part of life. So, how did the dream of IIT came? Because you said in studies you were not doing that well.
No.
So, how did you thought of doing IIT?
Actually, I went to do this engineering in Bombay, and after doing this first and second year, that's where I started getting along with the professors. I was a blacklisted creature, to be very honest. Totally blacklisted, 101%. Even the principal was disappointed because I'm not a disciplined student. But he, on the back of the mind, always said that. And in fact, in the final year, the last lecture, that now you are all engineers and you will be taking your next level of your job, etc. and all that. That's where he did specify कि you have to be notorious, and it's fun. It's not that we have to keep the laws to have a steady flow. So you can't give a free hand to all the kids, but all those who did was fun. I really enjoyed the batch, and it was good batch. Yeah, that was there. I don't complain there. No complaints there.
So that was during your first degree.
But then afterwards, after I finished up, I just went to the principal, talked to him. That's where he said, you're pretty young and you can do a further course. So what are those options? And then we had, one option was coming abroad. So 3 of my best friends, or rather my hostel room partners, came up to America and went for further studies in America. I also was thinking, but my parents said, no, you want to study, you study here in India, anywhere, that's not a problem. But not thinking of abroad, because all this empire made for you and you have to follow up, being the eldest child. And that's that Hindu culture. The eldest kid has to follow up what the fathers have done, you know. So that's what they expect, and that's what we follow.
Then IIT, how did that came into picture?
The principal of the college said that there are courses there, and you should do those kind of courses. What happened was, the real fact was, at that time, after I finished my engineering, as usual, there was a family dispute in the house between my father's brothers and all that, and that's where there was separation. And in that separation, now they needed manpower, and they were now counting on me, and so I could not go 100% if I have to. Either I have to study or I have to go for here. And so that's where I discussed with principal, and then principal said ki do a short course in IIT Kharagpur. And I went into that course. It's a post harvest technology course, wonderful course, suitable for my field, which I had to continue in manufacturing it. So it was seed and grain processing. And that's what I went and did that, and I enjoyed it.
So at that time, which exam you had to take to get into IIT?
The principal guided me there also, and he made me do it, and I had to take tuitions in Dadar. I had to go all the way to take those kind of tuitions. Specifically, that is for, those are classes in Bombay. Those are specifically for taking the entrance exam of IIT Kharagpur. So you go there, you study, they really brainwash you.
But was it for just IIT KGP? Because when I did, it's one IIT you give for you give one exam, you get into any IIT based on rank. At that
Based on rank, yes. That was the same style, same way.
Okay.
But the classes were in the other, and we picked that up. Principal only guided me, pick up those classes, go for those courses, start studying over that. After getting your score, that's where you will get an option of going there. But I was very stubborn at the very first base, though I went for that course, to enter into IIT. But in IIT, I wanted to go to post-harvest technology, and that was only in Kharagpur at that time.
Okay.
Now it is in Bhopal also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So what was the preparation at that time? Like,
It's
rigorous, crazy?
It is, see, there what is most important is, as I told you, before the professor teaches you or the sir teaches you, I study that night earlier only. And I am aware of it, so I know where I am blank or where I am lost. And then I attend that 100%, concentrated. If not, I would go to that professor and ask him, this is what I have not understood, explain me. Then he would give me some references, read these books so you can go into the depth. Because some things I hated was learn by heart, which is not a good concept. But so learning by heart doesn't take you to the baseline. It is, you have learnt it for that particular moment and then you have forgotten it, which is not at all good.
Got it.
So that's where I would refer books which I would get from the library, which we had free access also. And then I studied it and went easy. It didn't take me a real, like I did all those notorious things what I am supposed to do in my college life.
Yeah.
I have done all that, no regrets there. And simultaneously I also studied, but my studies was at night.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if we talk about environment in IIT at that time, how was it? Because now with the technology on and all, people are in their room with the technology. At that time, no technology. So what do you guys used to do, like whole day? How do you used to spend time?
See, basically, when you are first and foremost, you feel yourself appreciated when you have got into that college. And you are too eager to see all those things, what's actually there. No doubt, you are now surrounded with total masters. So you enjoy that. That's first part. But if you are looking at it, it's a hostel environment. Then you are looking at the college, it's a one campus, so you are totally independent, no interference, you yourself, and you have to fight it your way only, nobody there to support you. So it's a good environment, but simultaneously in those days there was nothing called ragging.
Nothing called.
Like it is a thumb rule that every senior has to rag you. It's a thumb rule. And so every junior has to just accept it willingly. So we are all prepared now. Ragging is going to happen. We have to suffer for one whole year. Yeah, maybe a year, maybe more, depends. And all the seniors there are selecting all these juniors whom they are going to rag for the whole year.
Okay.
Very, very important. Seniors are going to pick up, choose, oh, this boy is coming to my room, he is going to stay, and they are going to be your future guidance. Remember that also. Because they have already gone to that level, and then in future they are going to help you, but you got to make friends, right? But initially you have to be prepared for the ragging. And I don't say no, fine, just accept it. But I was little crooked also. So I was picked up, went to the hostel and all my stuff in there. Now this senior of mine has one very bad habit. He plays badminton, totally wet, and then uses my towel, messes out the whole room, and then wants me to fix it for him. I do it once, I do it twice. Third time I told him very decently, man, see, I don't like you using my towel. I bought another 2 more for you. You use them, I don't care. But mine, don't mess with it. You want to mess, you mess your side, I don't care. But not on my bed, not on my table, not on my chair, please. You tell it once, tell it twice, then he doesn't listen, and then one day a day came where my frustration went out of control and he got a hit. He got a wonderful hit, and that created a problem, of course, for the base, saying, he grumbling out saying, then I have an idiot, bloody hell, small guy, short guy, thin guy, and jumped on me, pounced on me and attacked me. And not only hit, but then after that I even warned him, look here, I won't hesitate stabbing you. Okay, I will not just leave this hostel just easy in a straight line. I'm not that kind of person. I will see that you're very well stabbed. I will end your life before you end my life of me going back to my own hometown. I will not leave that. And all these things spread it out in the college, hostel, and then things just straightened out very easily for me. No doubt, after that we became good friends. He understood
But that,
this one is a stubborn idiot. Yep.
but that kind of guts, because when you're entering into college as a junior, you're kind of scared. Like I was scared that someone would drag me, what's going to happen. Responding with that courage, I guess that's your childhood also. You've been so brave, notorious, like you don't go with the norms, whatever everyone does. You don't care. You do what you feel like, you'll do that. You're doing wrong, I'll stand against it. I don't care what others think. That kind of attitude build up from early stage.
Very early stage. That's because of the joint family. First thing, joint family, you have to fight up and be the leader on top. So that attitude already had been developed from the very childhood. For anything you have to fight and get that, and that's where automatically I would not give up. And I hated give up no matter what. I hate to lose. Like I always like to win. So having that attitude, automatically this thought, this concept had come up. And then I was aware, in hostel this happens. You are ready to digest it, but that has a limit. Once that limit crosses, you go wild. And once you're wild, you're wild. You are wild. Yeah.
So after college then, you had idea of what you wanted to do after you graduate from IIT?
See, what happened is, basically we had a joint family. We had our own industry already, manufacturing rice mills. So that concept was very firm. And that was the reason why I did not leave the country and go out with my friends, my best friends in USA. So it was firm. After engineering, immediately you have to join this factory and go ahead. But what happened is, the moment you join into a company under your parents, they are expecting something. Not from the educational ground. They want you to do engineering. But end of the day, they also want to teach what they have learned, right? There's a big difference there. They have that practical experience. You have come with theory. Blending becomes too difficult. Very, very, very difficult, no matter what. But that blend doesn't happen overnight, because parents are expecting something. You want to take something or give something. Big difference. And so then afterwards, I saw the whole scenario, and in 3 years, I just told my dad clearly, I can't get along much. I want to start my own. I've taken 3 years of experience with you, and I want to now diversify. And then that's where I just bluntly took up a step of getting out and starting my own creation. So concept was fixed, like I did not have to think of going for a job.
Got it.
If I had to think of going for a job at that time, then it would be straight moving to USA and going forward.
So why prepare so hard for IIT when you have to get into father's business? You could do after your first degree,
Well, my cousins did the same thing, but end of the day, education is important. And you can see that difference, not immediately, but maybe after 5-10 years, you will see the difference of your thought level, and you will see the difference of your surroundings, that affects.
Okay.
See, in education, what is the main advantage of having education or not having education? If you don't have education, but you are having a senior person guiding you to take you to that level, you will progress. But then your mind, how to develop it, how to create it, you will see the difference.
Right.
And I was lucky enough that I had a base, and so I could do it. But those who don't have base, no education, no results. Not only that, I would also like to add one more thing, and that is, see, there was a Latur earthquake that happened in India. At that time, I did see one big thing which I had learnt, and that's where I would tell everybody, and that is, if there is a disaster, or take it now, Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine is messed out. See how many rich people of Ukraine are now totally screwed. If you are having an educational background and you are educated enough, it is very easy to stand up on your own feet. But without that, if you are thinking of standing on your own feet again, it's not impossible, but it would be very difficult. So when there is disaster, there I would say education is a must. If you have that, that's with you till your last breath. And because of education, what is education if you see? A easy reference. How to find something out.
Yes.
Is easily possible, and that's all what they're training you.
Exactly.
Nothing else. It's basically whatever you studied, you basically forget in the next 5 years. But you don't forget one thing is if you want to go into any depth, which to refer, how to refer, where to find, how to find, what right words I have to use.
Exactly.
All this, you get it only if you are educated.
Exactly. I was reading book, they said 2 types of learning is there. One is what you already know. Second is how to know what you don't know.
What you don't know.
So that's definitely there. So now we have some noise, but I think our microphones are good, so it should be good. So after 3 years of working, you said you want to separate it out. Did you know what you wanted to do when you made that decision, or you just said, okay, I don't want to do this, I'll do something else, and then you figured it out?
No, what happened is I wanted to continue in seed and grain processing only. One of the most beautiful industry and a never-ending story. Like we say one thing, roti, kapda, makan, right? These are the 3 which will never have recession. So I did not want to go out of any of these 3. So roti, seed and grain processing. Without that, roti is not happening. So I was stubborn over it.
Okay.
Went into that depth, and then the only diversification is modernization. Understanding what is new technology. Understanding how to bring in this, incorporate it with our Indian methods. And that's where then afterwards I started adding equipments. Instead of doing what they are already doing it and just standing watching the production and improving on that side, I said let me improve on the equipment side. And so I started doing that and then mass producing those. So totally diversified with new technology, which took me a tough time, another 2-3 years, but then slowly I could take over the whole market.
Got it. So at that point, this thing was going in your mind when you were working with your family, like it's not working out, what else can I do? And then this idea solidified that I can do something else, and then you confronted it. That hey dad, I want to do something else. Must be a lot of friction and tough, but you went through it, and after 2-3 years you build your
diversified
equipment industry. Okay. And for how long you did that?
I did that for about 21-30 years.
30 years? Okay.
Yeah, 21-30 years.
And then
totally a beautiful thing, everything went fine. Business expanded, went on hiring professionals. See, if you are educated only, then you can think of hiring a professional person or an educated person. You are not educated and you hire a educated person. Now there is a big question mark there. There is a big question. That's what happened with my cousins.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to, if you are, so I went on, we diversified, everything went very fine and just wonderful.
Got
Just
it.
wonderful.
So then, what happened? You moved to US or you did something else in Africa?
Now I set up many projects, like the world's biggest project in Africa for rice mill was set up by me from ground zero.
Okay.
The world's biggest rice mill in India is set up by me.
Wow.
I had been to this country also, I traveled on the same field, but rice is not that a big opening in this country. So I diversified to feed industry. And we were the first people to get that floating fish feed.
Okay.
Floating fish feed is very, very good for prawns. And we really lucky enough to get that done, and it's a patented product by the company today. Yeah.
So how is this happening? Because are you doing this project where you are helping other people establish these plants, like
Yeah.
consulting job?
We offer projects on turnkey basis.
Okay.
And I always had that skill of mastery of taking that up on turnkey basis only. And every project was done on turnkey basis.
Turnkey as in?
Turnkey means where we set up the whole project from A to Z from scratch. You have just your land. Rest, you are deciding that this is what it is. We do the market survey for it, and then accordingly based on that we decide what capacity plant he would need for the availability of the raw material around that area, and then set up a whole project including the warehouse, including the storage and all that, all buildings and everything, all designs are made and given to him, and the equipments are supplied to him.
Okay.
And after supplying those equipments, we see that that project is completely done A to Z. That owner has nothing to do other than buy the raw material for it, which we guide. They process it, we set that equipment, and then for him selling the rice. And in case if he is having issues on selling his rice, we do have a market for him open for that too.
Got it. So it's more
That's called turnkey project. Yeah.
turnkey project. So you
Totally.
helped him get it started and
Totally set up.
and then you
And
leave
we
it up
got
to
out.
him.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
the-
go on to next
Yeah,
project.
it is all his investment. It is only his dollar or money or rupees. That's it. Other than that, nothing. They don't have to worry for. We are responsible for it.
Got it. So you did this for how many years?
30, 35
35
years.
years.
Yeah.
And you were the project in charge of that whole thing.
Yes, yes.
This
totally.
interesting story you shared where you were working with a group of North Indians and South Indians.
Oh, I had this project of setting up a project in Nigeria, rather the biggest rice mill in Africa. There, we had taken up a team from UP and a team from Kerala. Both are totally separate teams for separate things. Kerala team is precise specifically for installing the silos and all that. And UP team we had taken up for fabrication, let's say. Heavy structures, huge structures and all that for the project, for the equipments. And we had another team from Maharashtra also, some of them, for the assembly of the equipments and fine tuning, all that. Cooking comes, these Keralians want only rice and the UP people want only roti or paratha or naan. If you give them naan, they say their stomach hurts. And if you give them rice, they say they are hungry in an hour. I tell you what a wonderful mess I had in that night. And I had only one kitchen, one cook. It was a tough situation. I would say it was a tough situation. But
Did you find resolution?
the resolution was what? Simple. One day they are going to have roti, the other day they are all going to have rice. And then we had all those as usual problems daily coming up. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
So then from doing that, at what point you switch to motel industry, or you did give an interview, right?
Yeah. Actually, I came to USA in 2007.
2000.
And I continued with engineering, but into the feed industries. It's almost similar, same thing, but a different concept, because rice mill, or there is nothing called dal in this country. There is no cereals grown only. So very few, and no fun in that. Saturated market. So I diversified it with this feed industry, understood that, went to some books, went to Kansas University to study about it, 6 to 8 months course, and done deal, and then joined the company.
Okay, so you came here to study basically, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
you came to
Yeah,
study.
just because I had decided now I have to leave that country itself and come up here, because there was disputes again, and I did not want to fight in India at all with anybody. If you can manage it and if you can run it, here are the keys, I'm leaving. And that's how I flew from India and came into this country.
Got it.
Yeah. So studied this, after this did a job for 3 years, but when you have done business for about 30 years, becomes very, very, very difficult for you to then work under somebody.
Why is that?
See, in a job, you have to answer somebody, or you have to answer your boss, and your boss takes all the credit, or it could be an owner, right? And when the other side, you are the owner, that itself is a big difference. You understand? Well, my boss caught it within 2 months and recognized the style I'm working or I'm used to. He gave me a free hand, totally a free hand there. No questions asked there. He immediately realized he's not going to tell anybody. If he thinks it's the right thing, he's going to take his decision. Well, my decisions were better than my boss, so my boss never objected on that. He gave me a free hand in 2 months. Go do what you want to do, go ahead, I have no issues. And we proceeded further. And then he himself, after seeing that, he gave me 10% offer. Here's it. I give you 10% on all the total business what we are making, profits we are making, and go ahead with it. And so I was totally a free hand guy actually. So I never felt that I was working for somebody. It was all mine. And then I know I was going to get a 10% share in that. But as usual, 3 years later, I said, time to settle our accounts. Every year we are supposed to do that, but we are not doing it. And I was supposed to collect $750,000. Against that, he gave me $150,000. So I said, this is betrayal, not fair. I'm working hard, putting in my time, my energy, my brain, everything, and I'm not getting the results. So the moment I got that, I resigned. I said, now no more, I have to start my own business. Started it, but did not enjoy working in that, because you have to give a delivery date and you have to rely over people. And here the concept is, the moment you have work, all the people run away with all the reasons for not working and finding reasons, and you end up creating a mess for yourself. Then I said, now how long am I going to do it? So I diversified that.
So that's a different business than the job you did. Right?
Yes.
So for the job, you have shared that interview story with me, right? Can you share that with people? Because I think that's one of the
most important thing.
Most amazing, crazy interview I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
I came from India and I had a fixed job basically first and foremost before flying from India. And then that company said, okay, fine, we are doing good. You first get your green card. So I got my green card, I got my social security, and after getting that, I told them, here's it, I'm ready to join now. And that's where they said, we are winding up. Strong company, because it was a deep recession. And nobody setting up new projects. So naturally, no business. So I said, now what? Now I'm in a critical. So I sent 5 faxes. Because normally it's that crazy world of applying online. But you have to understand one thing, that is, this when you apply online, it directly goes to HR department. And that emails are normally opened by not the big boss. But if you send a fax, that fax machine is always with the owner. Or the highest level man in HR department. It's understood. So I sent those fax, and that's where I got my call. And of course, the owner called me saying, hey, you're looking for a job? And I said, yes, I'm looking for a job. And he said, okay, fine. We need a personal interview. I said, okay, send me the air ticket and I'll come down. So then he said to me that, oh, my company does not spend for interview calls. I said, in that case, then I'm talking to the wrong person. Give it to the boss and let him make a decision. And that's where that boss said, I am the boss. If you are the boss, then you change your law, company law. Then he said, no, that also doesn't happen. So in that case, then how is this going to continue? So I said, okay, let's put a challenge. You put in your 5 masters, I told him. You put in your 5 masters, and they can ask me as many questions they want. I don't care, right? I asked them 3 questions. Same subject, same field, I don't care, right? Not out of the subject, of your field, that includes you also. If you answer me those, right? I accept what you say. I even pay for my ticket. But if not, you pay for the ticket, you pay for my shifting of my family and everything, and then my salary, my job. Boss said, you are challenging me? I said, yes. I know my subject very well, period. So we flew. Boss is prepared. And I reached there. I saw the company. Not very happy, but okay. I have to start somewhere in USA because the best company has betrayed me. So nobody is having projects. So I said, okay. And then we discussed. They gave me some questions. At that time, I bluntly told them, look here, I've challenged your company. So don't float up on the top, go to the depth. Okay? Don't ask me those foolish questions which are just floating on top. Go to the depth. That's where Don Baldwin, an 82 years senior man who had specifically come, and he put up a problem in front of me. And I looked at that question. I said, I need a paper and I need a calculator. And I need half an hour, no disturbance. And I looked into it, put that problem and solved that in half an hour and put that paper on the table. And that's where Don Baldwin, the senior most person there, came up and said, no, explain me how you came to this. And I explained him. And you know what he said? There itself he immediately told the boss, let me tell you one thing, for the last 4 days I've been struggling for this answer and this man has given it out in just half an hour. You better hire him tomorrow and put him beside my table. Your things will move 10 times faster. Because this way I had never thought of it. I had never thought these kind of problems better calculated this way. And that equipment was designed, then made, supplied and executed by me and thoroughly satisfied, zero problem.
So how did you get this confidence to challenge a company and company's manager? And at that time,
See, you have to understand, most important part is you are not wasting your time, right? If you are not wasting your time and you are studying, you are working and you are putting in your 100%, there is no reason to fear any exam. But if you have not done the study the whole year, then that last month of exam pressure is going to be created. I never did that. I told you at first stage. I would study earlier, whatever I don't know, I would ask those questions to those professors, master that. If you have mastered it, and if you think still you are not satisfied, you go to the depth reading books. Where is that question of that fear coming up only? That's it.
Got it. So that's how you got that job. After that job, then the settlement wasn't done fairly. So you said, I'll start something new. You did something new for a few years, and then you get into motel business.
Now I finished my engineering. I did start my own company. I was not happy with it. It was not going good. Like, it was an after sales service, but it needed manpower. And here manpower you don't get exactly when you need them. And so I just thought of diversifying. I said no. And now I had to diversify. So what should I look for? And then I started doing homework with looking around with all the Indian friends. And I'm Gujarati, so I just looked around what all the Gujaratis are doing and how they are doing, and they all, doctors, 300 rooms. I'm saying, what the hell is all this going on? What is this 300 rooms or 400 rooms or 600 rooms? And I'm talking of these doctors here, and they say, he owns a motel. And he has 3 motels, and total he has now come up with 300 rooms or 400 rooms, and he's growing there in numbers, room wise. So what is this motel business? And that's where I said, if these people are all educated and they are going into this motel industry in America, means need to do some homework on it. And so I started doing part-time job as front desk in a motel. And seeing what this concept is, understanding it. 1-2 months I did the job, then I started enjoying it. I understood, okay, and I understood this business. And then I said, now let me go into the depth. So the moment I gave up all this engineering, I did a job for 1.5 years, clearly specifying to the owner, look here, I'm here just to learn what is hospitality industry. And after learning what is hospitality industry, I'm going to buy my own motel. You better have some experience and knowledge before you show in a new scene for yourself, because you are going to lose that money if you have no experience. So I took that 1.5 year experience, me and my wife, and see if we both are comfortable in it. We learned that, then we bought the motel. We had the funds, so that was not a problem. 1.5 year experience, I found it. I found my motel, I bought it. And I just diversified because I have to look at my age, I have to look at my health. I did not want to take any more blood pressures because I was already running with high blood pressure. So no more pressure, because in engineering, blood pressure was too normal or too common. Like, the doctors also standardized it. 150 is normal for you. I would have migraines and all that, because you are starting one project here now. It takes about 6 months to complete that whole unit to be dispatched. After that, it takes 3 months to be installed. Right? In the meanwhile, you are having another project already here. And that is in the second routine. So like that, 6 to 7 projects at a time constantly going on. And anywhere there is a problem, there is only one person to answer, Mr. Panchal. So if there is on site there is a problem, now that is 9 to 10 months earlier done. You got to keep all that here. And that person is asking a problem from far off. So you got to answer him. And it has to be on the spot, or give me 1 hour. And you go back, reference, find all that, and then give him an answer. Simple questions also like, Hey, I'm not finding this item here. Where the hell is that gone? Look at the packing list where it is. So you got to spoon feed all this. And that creates a constant pressure non-stop. One side fabrication problem, other side designing problem, and all this, and my boss was enjoying it. But I just gave up, said I'm done with it. And I've been doing it for the last 35 years. So I did not want to. And so I said, no, now it's time for me to be with my family. And so I bought a motel.
Got it. क्या वो worth it? Is it worth it to prepare that hard for IIT or
Yes.
what?
See, let's make it very simple. You think that it is working hard. But if you are thinking of putting in 100% of whatever you are doing, it is not hard. And second thing, learn by heart. Delete this concept. Do it only if you are enjoying it. And if you are enjoying it, you can put in your 100% and that's not hard.
Got it.
Do it. Do it. That is for sure.
And how many years have been since you graduated IIT? 40 years?
Yeah, 40 years. 40 plus.
So do you think that IIT tag helps you now?
Yes, indirectly, though I am into the totally now I am in a relaxed mode or retired mode, okay. I hate one part is that is I don't want to take money from anybody, right? But my hard work, yes, I want the cream of it. And that has to be till the last stage, till my last breath. And that is why I went into this motel industry, which I can control it even if I'm handicapped. So I don't want to live on charity or government fund. I want to enjoy my life, but simultaneously I want the funds coming in. You know, in this country there is nothing called retirement fund. You have to plan for your constant income coming in till the last breath. If you are not thinking of that and you are thinking, oh, I will start doing my savings and this savings will help you, I don't believe that concept. You never know what kind of surprising expense you can come up with. And so have a base where you have constant income coming in. Let it be anything. I selected hospitality industry. I came too late in this country, so I went for that. And it's doing good. And I'm sure I can run this show even if I am sick. So I'm not worried about it. So, and that's possible only when you are educated. Because if you are educated, your mindset is also very firm. You know what is called, what's going on, what's happening, what's going to come into the future. If you are educated, only then you can think of next 10 years or next 20 years. If you are not educated, that concept doesn't come up only. And that thought also cannot come.
Got it. So
it's not that only IIT, any damn education, but education which you have really taken education, copied and gave exam and got scores is not called education, valueless. Those are the best failures I have seen. Yep.
Yeah. So the education that you got in those years, which includes IIT, still helps you prepare.
Yes, it helps. It helps me because see that training, that concept, that baseline which you are trained at the very early age, that keeps automatically continuing. You ask me about engineering just now, I may not know anything just now. I bluntly won't be in a position of answering offhand immediately. But a sheet to refer and I can refer it, I can, because that's where I'm trained for, right? Finding something is easily done.
And how about the tag itself, the tag of IIT? Is it useful 40 years after you graduate, or is it the knowledge,
See, the biggest advantage, let me tell you one thing. Today, I am in USA. IITs are really valued a lot in this country. And one IIT graduate is always in search of another IIT graduate and immediately blends up fast. One thing is for sure, you have to understand, there is a brain there. So your two brains are automatically talking to each other. Something new, nice is popped out. there is a good discussion, there is always something nice, creative things, there is some knowledge given or taken, and that's what you really enjoy. I enjoy that.
Me too. So that's how we got connected, you know. So now we'll go to the last round, rapid fire round. I'll ask you your preference. Two options are there. You tell me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer texting or talking?
Talking more.
Talking more.
Talking more.
Do you prefer indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Outdoor. Do you prefer competition or collaboration?
Collaboration.
What's more important for you, end result of win or lose, or the journey?
Journey.
And what do you prefer, learning from a teacher, a guru, or self-learning?
Now that varies. Here now, I would say I learned a lot from gurus. The age where I am and all that, I think so there would be some guru who would still teach me today, and I'm ready to learn there. There is no problem. But there are two options. Either you are a teacher or you are a student. I prefer being a student even today.
Yeah.
Though
It's fun, definitely. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
well, talk to animals would be better.
Would be nice experience. Street smart or book smart?
Both.
Both.
You cannot be only one side. You cannot be, because if you are only book smart, you are just a bookworm and it will not take you anywhere.
And how about street smarts? If you are just street smart, no book smart?
No.
Not
Then also you can't grow.
Nice.
You have to be both.
Got it. Would you climb a mountain or jump from a plane?
No, climb a mountain.
Climbing is good, huh? Got it. Now some hypothetical questions, like imaginary question. We don't know if that will happen, but if you have no commitment, no responsibility, what will you do on a given day? For one day, no responsibility, no commitment, what would you do?
I like to meditate.
Meditate.
Be blank.
Blank. And if you find a way to time travel, where would you go? What time? Future or past?
Future.
Future. Just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you could be invisible for a day, no one can see you, what would you do?
I don't know that. Never thought of that.
Okay. If you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Let me be blessed.
Now some technology questions. How many minutes after you wake up, you check your phone?
15 to 20 minutes.
What is your last Google search?
Oh, never ends. What? Never ends.
What did you search like last on Google?
Just now?
Yeah.
At present, I'm doing renovation.
Okay.
So because I'm doing renovation, I'm looking into that possibilities. Ki now what else I can do, or how can I use that space, etc. Just basic.
Yeah. Are you active on social media?
Yes.
How frequently do you post?
Once a week. Once a week.
I like your quotes. Like whatever you share, it's very nice. And what are the top 3 most used applications on your phone?
Most used, first is WhatsApp. Okay. That is at present going on in a very hit level because my wife is in India. Okay. So
911.
Then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these are there, and I just watch a lot. Sometimes if I feel something right, I add it up, forward it, so everybody in my contacts is aware of it. And that's good concept, like positive attitudes.
Absolutely. So what's your take on these technological platforms which did not exist like 40 years ago or so?
Nope. At that time, that was not there. Basically, we were that early batches, and in India at that time, everybody just heard the word called computer. We were excited in IIT that we are going to have the first computer coming to IIT. First computer coming to IIT, and it did not come till I did not get out of it. Okay. So, and now I am here. Now without computer, without programming, not only that, but even in the engineering field, all the designs, everything that includes process of manufacturing is now only the computer does it. It's very less humans, and that's good.
At that time, did you had computer science branch?
No.
computer
No.
science.
What? First computer coming in IIT Kharagpur
Yeah.
was, and we were all excited to see what the hell that was.
So what was the top branch, like top 2-3 branches at that time that people wanted to get into?
That was, computers and all that was all in Bombay
Okay.
at that time. And then it spread it out. But Kharagpur, and it just came in. I was in 83, 84. No, 76. So,
Okay.
76,
So was
77.
it mechanical, civil?
Yeah, all mechanical, civil, electronics. Not much of
Mechanical.
electronics.
Not much electronics.
No. All this mechatronics and all that, nothing was there. It was all related to seed and grain, post-harvest technology, agriculture and all that.
Okay. Agriculture, then civil,
Yeah,
mechanical.
political science and all that,
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, now few deep questions, just 5 more. What are you grateful for?
I'm blessed that my parents did give me permission and the money to study. Without that, nothing was possible.
And what's the best advice you have received
From anybody or anything,
anywhere?
I would say best advice is only one thing, and that is put in your 100%, find time to meditate, find time to do some exercise.
What do you think is key to living a good life?
Positive. Just be positive and very good food. Healthy food, the best.
If you have to give one message to everyone is listening to you, you have years of experience, wisdom. What is it that you want to share that would help everyone?
Just be happy. Most important, just be happy, be cool, relax. Do not get angry, no matter what. And if you are angry for some reason, just stand up and get out from that environment. Come back. Life is too short.
Too short. So that concludes our podcast episode 1. If you guys have any questions specifically for Panchalji, write them down in the comment. Once we have a good amount of question,
I'll come back. First interview we'll do round 2, provided we have some good, nice questions. Okay?
Nice questions. Yeah. So thank you so much, Panchalji.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Let's do it.